hey YouTube, we need to have a chat. Hi guys! For those of you guys who are new to my channel, my name is Carrie, and if you weren't expecting a video today, me neither. I usually don't post at this time and day, but I figured I needed to get this video up as soon as possible because this tutorial is probably the most important tutorial I will ever place on my channel. Bet you're not ready for it. Today's video is going to be a how-to video on how to not be racist. Yep, I said it. If you guys don't know, if you've been living underneath a rock, or if you're just completely ignorant and uninformed, we live in a very racist society. Sad to say. And I know that one video on my channel is not going to change all of society, but I do feel as though even as a small YouTuber, I have a voice and a platform and I should be using it. And I know that I tend to be very comical and weird on my channel most of the time and not super serious, but I do want you guys to know that this is a serious topic. And I'm gonna dedicate this tutorial to Laura Lee because she probably needs it the most right now. So let me help you, okay? So if you guys have been struggling with this problem and you want to figure out how to not be racist, then just keep on watching. I can't do this. You love my how-to tutorials, so I figured I would compile my list of different things on how to not be racist and put them in this large list for you guys, and I realized that I really only had one tip for you guys to follow. And this is like a major thing, so I don't want you to be like overwhelmed, mind blown by it. I promise. It's something that's obtainable, but it's big, okay? You ready? My number one tip to not being racist is to not be freaking racist. It's not that hard, honestly. Basically, I did try and sit down and create a list. I'm not gonna lie to you, but at the end of the day, I just think that we need to kind of call attention to these problems more so, and especially in the beauty community. I know that there's a lot of problems outside of the beauty community regarding race that needs to be handled, but I think with this current Laura Lee situation, it is something that needs to be called attention to. And you guys are probably going to be hearing about it a lot from your YouTubers if you watch a lot of beauty YouTubers, or at least I hope, because people do need to address this issue. For those of you guys who don't even know what this video is about, you don't know who Laura Lee is, or you don't know why I'm making this video, Laura Lee is a huge influencer and beauty YouTuber in this community. She has her own line of cosmetics. She recently had some old tweets come out into the light and they were all really problematic and really racist. I'll post them right here. They are really tragic. Like, I read them and was just like, does anyone actually tweet this? Like, is this a joke? But the sad thing is she did tweet it. It's not hard to not be problematic. I tell people this all the time. Here's the thing. Racism is already a problem as it is. We live in a society in which there are people out there who genuinely, truly believe that they are better than other people because they're not the same race, background, heritage, culture. Like, they're not the same as someone else, which is bull, okay? No one is normal, first of all. There's no normal that there's one standard that people have to be, and then if you're not this, then you're weird. Like, there's no such thing as that. And I hope people realize that. I don't know how they haven't at this point. I'm sorry to tell you, you're not normal, but no one is. And that's perfectly fine, but I think that you have to be some type of insecure for you to really sit there and genuinely think that you have to be a part of a group of people who are better than someone else. Life is not a competition. It really isn't. Honestly, if you're stunting, you're happy with yourself, genuinely happy, and you're over here just being a boss, living your best life, being positive, and living a happy life, you will have no room in your life whatsoever to hate anyone else, to discriminate against anyone else, to care what anyone else is doing, because you're worried about yourself and your happiness. So people who are already discriminatory already have a lot of problems that I feel bad for, because I'm like, you're not happy in your life. That's the only, like, I've never met someone who's racist and happy. Let's be honest, let's be real. Additionally, I think it's bullcrap when people blame their racism and discriminatory practices on their upbringing. I don't care how small of a town Laura Lee grew up in, or the fact that she grew up in Alabama, or it doesn't matter. First off, you're a female, so you already belong to groups of people who have been historically marginalized, and yet you're still going to discriminate against other people. You don't like fat people, you don't like Asians, you don't like blacks, you don't like yourself, obviously, because you wouldn't be tweeting what you tweeted if you did. I just feel like it just comes down to this person, their insecurities, and their ignorance. It's just a really big problem, and Laura Lee isn't the only person who is guilty of this. There are so many people in the beauty community who have said things, and I don't care if it's in the past, she still needs to be held accountable for it. If you belong to a marginalized group of people, you should know what it feels like to be discriminated against, and you shouldn't discriminate against anyone. But more importantly, if you didn't belong to a group of marginalized people, you still shouldn't discriminate. It's just bad. It's like bullying, but on a larger scale level. Everyone always was taught when they were little never to be a bully. Bullies are mean. Bullies are bullies because they're insecure and they're not happy and they're taking everything out on you. That's how racist people and problematic people are. Just saying. On top of that, she was 23 at the time. That's older than me. You are an adult, okay? And you took the time to think about these tweets, think about the fact that you're going to possibly say these things to the public, and then actually do it. You had so many opportunities to be like, nah, I ain't gonna post it, but you did. Basically, I just feel like I don't feel bad for Laura Lee and all of the hype that is around the situation and all the pressure that she's getting. She does need to be held accountable for the things that she said, regardless of whether it was in 2012 or now. And the fact that she deleted everything instead of initially just owning up to the fact that these things are problematic is even more problematic. One move that anybody who's in the public light needs to know is to own up to your mistakes, never try to hide them from anyone else because people have already seen them. Like, that's the most stupid thing that you could ever do. Additionally, I feel like if you are part of a marginalized group of people, you should already know that you have a large responsibility when you're in the spotlight to set a good example, and this did not set a good example for you. And you can't use BS excuses like where you grew up or your age to help get rid of the situation. It doesn't matter. There are plenty of people who grew up in small towns, plenty of people who grew up in the country, plenty of people who grew up and were not marginalized people. We're not black, we're not brown, we're not females, we're not gay. There are plenty of people who have plenty of privilege and they use it the right way. They use it to bring people up and to bring awareness to things instead of tearing people down. And I think in the beauty community it's even more disappointing just because as a black brown woman, by the way, I am biracial. I'm black and I'm Hispanic, and as someone who fits into that category and has a little bit more melanin in her skin, it's already hard enough to find representation in the beauty community, especially on YouTube, that fits around where I am. There are not that many people who look like me in comparison to the people who don't look like me on YouTube. And I think it's really disappointing to know that there's still people out there who are going to say these things that are problematic, and they think that just by deleting these things that they can run away from these problems and not address them. And these are the same people that will sit here and also say that racism doesn't exist, that everyone is equal, that everyone's treated this way, that things are nice and dandy and all this kind of stuff nowadays. And this is just proof that it's not always that way. And I feel like on my channel I'm very positive and I like to give you guys humor and all this kind of stuff, and I don't want to change that at all. I like to laugh, I like to look on the bright side of things, but I do feel like I should be kind of bringing more attention to things like this because I usually don't. Basically, I want to make this video to say it's not hard to not be racist, and I don't think that we should feel bad for people like Laura Lee or even when someone like Jeffree Star went through this. I don't feel bad for these people. You are grown, and even before you're 23, before you're 21 or 18, you should be able to already start to form your own opinions about life, and you should be able to know how to not be ignorant and how to be open-minded. You should know how not to be problematic by that point. So I don't think that there's any babying that anyone deserves because it's common sense. And if you are problematic and you're told that you're problematic, you need to own up to it and try to be better. At the same time, I don't want to make this video to tell you guys to hate Laura Lee either. Hate is very strong, and I feel like we don't have enough time in life to hate on things or hate on people, and hating her is not going to help. I think the best thing that we can do is to make note of the fact that she might not be exactly what we thought she was, and to give support to the people who deserve it. Give support to black and brown people in the beauty community and outside of the community who are doing great things. Give support to people who deserve it and who are still fighting against being marginalized, fighting against people who discriminate, fighting against this stupidity. We should support them and spend our time supporting them instead of spending all of our attention on these people, these haters, okay? They had enough haterade. Their blood sugar's too high now, and they need to all take several seats, okay? From this point on, I feel like I'm going to try and just gear my attention towards representing the people in the community who are great and who are positive, and I think that we should all do the same. I just wanted to post this video to kind of give my little rant about this because I think it's really ridiculous how people are trying to debunk the situation. Some people are saying it's not that big a deal, and it's like, It kind of is. It's not as big of a deal to the point where I'm shedding tears over it, but I do think that it's something that is important and something that needs to be called out on. If you have privilege, it's very easy for you to sit back and say this doesn't matter, but it does. And it's something that's an ongoing problem, but we're gonna fight to fix it. I am black, I am proud, and I'm going to stay in the beauty community regardless of how small I am. She might watch this and be like, who are you? And I'll be like, girl, who are you? I don't know anymore. Okay, but I'm done for real. It's hot, I'm sweating, and I need to get the fan on, and I can't turn it on right now because I'm talking. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you guys feel love. If you guys heard about the news and you felt kind of attacked, just know that you're beautiful, you're great, and you don't need to fit inside anybody's closed-minded box or mold. You're fantastic, I think you are, and I hope to see you guys around. I will see you guys next time. Bye guys.